Okay guys, welcome back. My name's Good. Today we're going to be doing a worst to best. All the game modes, if you choose quick play right now that you'd play, because Clash got taken out of comp, thank God. Yeah, but we'll include it anyway. Speaking of Clash, that's our first one on the list. Clash, in my opinion, is the worst game mode in the entire game. It is super defender-sided. If you're losing, you're gonna probably win in the end, because it is so much easier to defend a point that you are next to and get points out of that, instead of, having to push even further and get the same amount of points as the defenders would. It's so stupid. Like, as in, for example, the final point, right? The attackers have to put a lot of effort into getting any point out of this, but the defenders have to put very little to gain like 3 points or whatever. Like, it's so easy for the defenders to come back. Which, like, obviously, coming back is nice and all nice and even, but like, it doesn't really reward who actually played best that round or that game or whatever, which is kind of stupid. You're also rewarded for basically not capturing the first point. Like, if you capture the first point, I think your win rate goes down, because it is easier to capture for the defending team now to go capture the point closest to them, and then off of that fight capture the middle one again, which means they then get a lead. So it's like, it just never really felt worth pushing ever. Like, you just wanted to lose points so you could get your ones closest to you. It's so dumb, and that's just not how a game mode should work. And I think it was very easily fixable, but they just didn't really try for some reason. I think there was a lot of things they could have tried to do. The maps were also quite boring. There was just 2, and I didn't really find them that interesting design wise, like, because all the points are basically the exact same. And you just walk through a couple chokes, next point, walk through a couple chokes. It doesn't matter, all the other stuff's around there. And I play like flankers, and they're all just kind of the same little routes. Nothing was that interesting with the maps. I really didn't like Throne of Anubis' middle point at all. I think that was horribly designed. But like, yeah, I'm glad I don't have to play these maps again. Staggering was also a big issue, because like, if you died when your spawn was more close, and then someone else died when your spawn was further back, you get stuck, and then you don't know, and it just didn't really work that well. There's a reason this game mode got removed. No one liked it, and it didn't work. So yes, that is Clash. Moving on to the next one. The other new game mode, Flashpoint. I don't hate Flashpoint as much as other people hate Flashpoint, but I will admit it is probably the weakest game mode currently in the competitive pool. There's lots of walking involved, just because points are 120 meters away, 140 meters away. So you have to always walk so far to them. It's just these big maps that you keep having to walk around and stuff. It's just not that fun to do that, Like, I have a point. I wrote down some points about this. One of my points was straight up, it's just boring. It is just a boring game mode. Like, there's not much specific things I'm going to talk about it, but it's just really boring. I think most people can agree that they're just not that entertained when they play Flashpoint. It's just not very fun. I think there's only 2 maps. So repetitive maps, that is a big factor. I think it's literally just Survasa and New Junk City. I don't think there's any other Flashpoint maps. So it makes it quite boring when you do have to play. It's like, oh, okay, I have to play this map again, And also, those maps just aren't that different. They all play the same. There's no real variance for any of them. Like, for instance, if you took like a payload map or something, Dorado plays completely different to King's Road is a hybrid, but still, like, those maps play completely different. Some are more dive focused on all this. It kind of just feels like these maps are all level. There's no difference between them on Flashpoint. The points capture so fast as well is actually a problem, because I think if you lose your first fight, you can very easily just lose a whole point. And especially in like non pro play setting, your team's just not going to gather very well, and they will take a while to set up an attack or whatever. And so then you lose like 60% just trying to regroup, and it just feels like shit in those like medal ranks and whatever, right? It just doesn't feel great because your team doesn't know how to like completely gather back together and stuff. I will say though, Flashpoint does feel quite fair. It does feel like everyone had, like, even though there's annoying factors, like, it so easily could have been you getting that factor. Like, there's just so many. It is quite balanced, I think. I haven't really felt like, oh, that was stupid, I don't know how they. It feels fair. So that's all that matters. Feeling fair is a very good part of game mode. That's why Flashpoint doesn't feel as bad, whereas Clash didn't feel fair. So yeah. Anyway. On to the next one. You might be shocked to see this one here. Escort. I think Escort, I haven't actually written much down for Escort, but Escort I think is fine as a game mode. Like, it's a good game mode, but the map pool for Escort is really, really, really shit. You got Circuit, Junkertown, Dorado, Havana, all in the same map, like all in the same game mode. There's 2 good maps. No, 1 good map, Gibraltar. Shambali's pretty mid. And then, am I missing another one? Oh, Rialto's good. Rialto's really good. I like Rialto a lot. But some people don't. So yeah, it's a really bad map pool. You'll probably think you like Escort, but you like Hybrid. That's what you like. Escort is really, really bad just because the maps are bad. But I do think like you could so easily make this game mode better with just having better maps. I do want some new Escort maps. I like that they're giving maps to the game modes that have no maps, like push and stuff. I wouldn't mind a new Escort map just to try and make it good, Shambali's fine. It's fine. I don't feel anything when I get into a Shambali game. But, oh my god, Varna, Cirque, and Darot, like, that's bad. That's bad. That's all I have to say. But otherwise, the game was actually great. It feels really good. It feels really good to play. Control is my next one. Control used to be one of my favorites. I don't know why, but I think it's because it's quick games. When you get Control, it sounds so stupid. You don't have to play that long of a game. And now, yes, I want to play Overwatch, right? That's the point. But with Control, you can get a lot of games in a session if you got a lot of Control maps. And you feel like you have to commit less to a game. But you can put your all in for like 8 minutes and be really focused for 8 minutes, win a game, and then, take a little quick break, be really focused for another like 8. Instead of like the possibility of like 20, 22 minute hybrid games or whatever where you really feel like you have to like focus on it. So I think that really works well for Control. It feels balanced and fair by having the mirrored maps and whatever, but it actually kind of isn't. It's really reliant on you capping first. It's the only game mode where there's a possibility you'll end a round and no one will get an ult. Like, it's really not that fair actually, like as a game mode. Like if you lose first point, and you don't win the next fight after, they have ults. So the points are already at like 70%, and then they have an ult fight, and you don't. So that's pretty much game. And then you have to basically make an overtime touch and hope you clutch. It's quite bad on that sector. Obviously, it doesn't always play out like that. You can make comebacks and whatever. But I do just think it is not that great in terms of that, like, fairness. Even if it feels quite good. It does feel like you've really got to cap that first point sometimes. Or win that second fight. If you lose both fights at the start, it's bad. It's bad. Push is the next one. Push is underrated. I really enjoy Push. I think Push is genuinely great. Don't know why people hate it. I think it's because it was overplayed at the start. They made everyone play Push too much. People got too used to it, and it didn't have enough maps or whatever. Still doesn't really have enough maps, but at least you have to play it less because it's not forced as much. But Push also has quite quick games, about 10 minutes, 8 minutes, whatever. But in a fair feeling way, it genuinely is quite balanced. You're able to come back very easily. I do think I don't know why it feels great now. It genuinely feels like the comeback makes sense. If you pushed it really far, you're probably going to win. Like if there's 2 minutes left and it's 120 meters to like 10, you're very likely to win. But if the enemy team win, fair play to them. Do you know what I mean? Like they actually just came back. Like when you don't come back from that, you go, we made a good attempt. It's fine. It makes sense. We weren't going to be able to push it that far. But I do like some push games. I don't know how often these happen to you guys, but where you get like the tug ones. So it's like 40 meters, like you're like pushing back and forth, which is how push I think should feel. But that feels great. I generally like it a lot. Really underrated. Really fun maps. I do really enjoy these maps. I think they could use some more variants in terms of like, I know it's such a dumb thing to add. Just some maps that are more high ground focused or more like close quarter focused. They're all the same openness and high groundiness. Maybe Esperanza's first point has that high ground spot, but it's not a dominant high ground spot. Like, you wouldn't need it. Do you know what I mean? You could just brawl your way through a choke or brawl. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to necessarily do it. You can stream it feels really weird. I will be honest. I don't know how I feel about the whole like bridge in the middle thing, but it's fine. These maps are fun. They look good. Could use some more variants, but I really love Push. It's quick games. You can focus up and play well. I feel good. I feel like I play well on Push. It's a good game mode for the heroes I play. I really like playing Sombra and Tracer and stuff on Push. They just feel great. Like these mobile characters, they're able to, there's so many spots to go because of the way the maps work. It feels great. Anyway, onto my favorite game mode, as you can probably know, or what I think is the best game mode. Push might be my favorite, but I think the best game mode is Hybrid. Hybrid is the good game mode, Escort, right? But with good maps now. You've got like You've got Kings Row. You have... Fuck, what are the other maps? I have them up here. You've got Icon World, Kings Row, Blizzard World. I don't mind Nabani, but it's a bit eh. And then Hollywood's fine. Hollywood's fine. I like Hollywood. But yeah, there's not actually that many maps. Oh, there's Midtown, which sucks, and Parisio. I forgot about Parisio. I like Parisio, or how do you say it? Parisio, Parasio, I don't fucking know. All I know is I say it better than J3 says it. That's all that matters. But I like that map. I just don't really like Midtown. Midtown is the only map that, but it's not like I actually dislike it. Like, it's not like a Circuit Havana type thing. It's more of a, oh, this map. But anyway, Hybrid has the really good maps in it. It feels great. It feels like Overwatch. This is the Overwatch game mode. You know how like Valorant and CS have the one game mode they play for wherever Paladins just had Siege that you play. Siege, the game itself, has just its game mode you play. I feel like Hybrid would be what Overwatch is. If Overwatch had to commit to one game mode, it would be Hybrid. It is good. It's good. It's got the point capture, it's got the push, it's got tension, it's fun. It's really fun to watch as well. I think it's the most fun game mode to watch in OWCS and pro matches and streams and whatever. It's because it can be really tense, really fun, lots of creativity. The maps are very well designed in terms of variance. Again, like I said, Kings Row, choke heavy, brawl map. Icon World has a really thick choke at the first point, but the second point is massively open and divey. Parisio is also really divey. Midtown is quite pokey. Hollywood, brawl, then dive in the point, and then it's got so much. The variance is just good. It's just, that's what I want from game modes. That's what stuff like push do lack. But Hybrid's good. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe or whatever. Tell me what your favorite game mode is. I would love to know. I would love to know what your favorite game mode is. And if you think maybe I ranked these poorly. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.